Yeah, that was Galgalat, Haifa, Israel. Yeah, today is a big day. It's Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, and what to speak about. It's written in the Bible that we ought to bless Israel. I think that is uttermost importance. Not only bless, but consent with Israel. To consent in a way that you are an alliance with Israel. People tend to say, but we are allowed to criticize Israel. Everybody do criticize, so why not criticize Israel? But you see, when a people is tormented, as I was into some debate regarding the juridical reforms in Israel, I felt it quite awkward to comment on it. Either it was this side or the other side. Because the people of Israel, as I regard back in those days, in my own view, were in torment. They were tormented. Not because there were disagreements, but it seems to be a polarity that didn't work. That was a kind of a polarity, a division that excluded the other from belonging to Israel, belonging to the humanity. And when it goes to that degree, I think that the people of Israel need to know, despite what you decide, we stand by you. We wish you all the blessings. But the people of Norway, the people of every other country that have issues with Israel will always criticize Israel due to the governmental decisions. It's kind of an obvious fact that whatever a certain government is doing will be deemed wrong. Yes, by the fact that Bibi Netanyahu was doing his part, and voices against Bibi was very loud, and the more loud it is, the louder it is, the less it contains. As you can see, we have a word on that. The empty barrels make more noise. If the barrels of oil or whatever they contain is rumbling down, and they are filled with something, it wouldn't make so much noise because it contains something. But you see, the leftists, they don't have anything, so it rumbles very much. What kind of noise they are making, it is a high noise. And that is a good expression for when the noise is so high. There is nothing really they have to say. Nothing really that bears... they have a lot to say. But you need to find so-called argument and facts in order to have some validity to what you are saying. But when you do not have that, people seek to lies, to put people in a bad spot, that it is what they intend to do. A certain expression like that. It is what Netanyahu wants to do, as it was portrayed here in Norway. Netanyahu wants all power. He wants to be a dictator. And how in Israel, how would you even say such a thing? Because the Israeli leadership is dependent on majority, not a dictator. It's just a bogus argument. So the more bogus arguments, the more noise. That is a sad fact. But I think during that time, I wouldn't criticize Israel. Whatever decision I was asked by, I just came to Israel the same day. I sat down and had a beer or something. I sat down and beside me came an old man, older than me. By the way, yesterday was my birthday. He was, I asked him, do you speak English? Because he wanted to talk with me and so on. And he was from South Africa. So, of course, in a way, he was British in his accent and all that kind of way of talking very brilliantly, beautifully, and I was intrigued. But he asked me, as the youngster I was compared to him, what do you think about the decision in Israel? I don't really remember what I answered, but I have it on YouTube, so you can go back and see. But I left him with some words that I think Israel needs unity. Unity. What if it's splitting? It's not good. But maybe it was not a mature decision. To make such a decision, you may be wrong when it's Netanyahu that had that coming. He was suggesting that kind of a change. So maybe he just got sabotaged because he is Netanyahu. And everything he did or do will be deemed, in the worst case, by his own Israeli citizens. So I didn't want to contribute to, I am all for Netanyahu, I'm all for whatever. No, I just left him that I think Israel needs to be united. And to put some criticism on top of what they already debate or argue about, it is not in my position to criticize that kind of. I can have opinion, of course, and who cares about my opinion? I don't really care myself. But I think to criticize Israel, both during that kind of period when they were in so high tensional separation, because it takes a loving people like Israel. A loving people like Israel is very preoccupied with opinions, and they are very skilled in what they. If they have an opinion, it is a very and fairly good reason. They explain it in a very beautiful way, whichever opinion they have. I'm of course generalizing, but they are very factual and reality orientated, everyone. So I wouldn't go in to criticize them to them, but I defended Netanyahu in my own debates that he was right, and the leftists in Israel may have some different opinions, but I think the leftists have got their answer today. And it is also when a country and people is attacked, like the day there was in, to talk only about the 7th of October, can be diversion of real fact, because they have been attacked in so many ways and constantly by rockets. But what happens the 7th of October, and to criticize Israel during this time when they need to get to grips with the situation and how to decide to continue, to be on top of that, as Mr. Biden, Mr. Secretary Blinken, and all the rest. Now you can see the whole company of UN and other countries. They are demanding Israel to a ceasefire. I think it is not only wrong to ask for such a thing, it is a needle, a thorn in the flesh of Israel, because it was a reaction to what Mr. Blinken said just recently today, that Israel need to be aware of the civilian causes and need to take measurements to avoid civilian losses to the Palestinians. And they said that to say that to Israel, that is upholding every kind of rule of international law and the law that is about having a war. They are way better than any other comparable countries. But yes, to say that was not very embraced. It was not embraced in a very no one embraces that, because Israel is in the middle of a war and they take every measurement to contain it, to only hit against Hamas, and warnings. So when Israel get that kind of a criticism that they have to have a ceasefire now, yet Hamas is sending rockets. Can't you ask Hamas for it has to be decent, a little bit decent and honest? Isn't it Hamas that started this war? Is it Israel? So if you ask Israel, that was just attacked on the peak of their celebration, the celebration of the Bible. Just to ask for such a ceasefire is just not only a needle, it's poisonous. That is just so inhumane in itself. I think that is appealing to break a humanitarian law, to ask for ceasefire, while Hamas is not abiding by any law. They have their own law. And that law is only to kill Jews in order to get rid of Jews, so that the Palestinian, whoever that is, it is said that Palestinian is ancient people, which is not. If you go to the history, just recent history, no one was talking about a specific country, nor a specific people that call themselves Palestinian. Before 1967. What a joke! And as a rabbi here in Norway said, it's okay. It's okay to call yourself whatever you like. You can call yourself whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. If you agree to some certain definition of yourself and that clan or tribe or people, you are welcome. And in that case, they may need a country. So that's okay. But if that kind of people and country is waging war all the time, and they demand land for peace, you know how bogus that argument is. It is as the barrels I was talking about, that the less it contains of validity or arguments, the less you have to say. The more noise. Who would hit a barrel that is empty? No, you know that it will fall. And it is as many states that the Palestinian is the oppressed people. Who is oppressing the Palestinian people? I think you need to get some facts straightened out, and to have this entity that is called Hamas governing the Palestinian people, that not only do they not bless Israel, they are in their charter. Just go to the charter, you will find out what kind of a intention, state that is. The charter is saying all about the extinction of the Jewish people wherever they are. Not only in Israel, but in your country too. And if you think that your liberation, your Western thoughts, your Western ideas of right and wrong, or if you are gay or other things that you have the liberty to be without a scarf or something, you are destined to be killed. So you can join now before it gets too late. If you want to join Hamas, be a Hamas, be an Islamist. Not that I oppose Islam, but to be an Islamist is jihad. Jihad, waging war against Israel. So what is it about blessing Israel? Why is it stated that we ought to bless Israel? Side with them. And do the right thing in order to say the truth. You see, empty barrels makes a lot of noise. It makes, as they say in Kenya, kilele. Kilele. And in Israel it makes balagan. I don't know whether that is noise, but it is turmoil. So you need some heavy duty. And when you go for the scripture that says to Abraham, those that bless you will be blessed. I was met in Israel by a certain Jew that said, you got promises that we don't have. If you bless us, you are promised to be blessed. But it doesn't say anything about us. We certainly are not that blessed. and I think that Israel is subjected to much more. It's a beacon of light, moral, political, social, economic, technologic, every kind of art and music and everything. And I heard a statement here some days ago that when Israel, the Jews, start to make music for the Jews, until now they have made music for the Gentiles. Like Irving Berlin and many others was making music for Gentiles. Who wouldn't forget, who wouldn't remember the beautiful Christmas music that many Jewish authors did, and all the science within the scientific world. It seems that they are guiding us, Gentiles, into a new era. And I think the only blessing that Israel is destined to have is the Messiah. So as an atheist, Jewish atheist, said that everyone can aspire. When you have this aspiration of Messiah, you can fulfill that commandment yourself. You can be the Messiah that is promised. And the Messiah, what is he doing? He's doing just. He's doing right. And I think that now Israel is leading on in doing just like just that. I think Israel now is proved to be the blessing of the world when it takes on Hamas. It will be a blessing to the world because, as some say, Hamas needs to be erased. And I've been into that kind of a spiritual force that Hamas represent by Palestinian. And as I have also stated, that Palestinian people is not really a people. They come from everywhere. I don't deny them their ethnicity, but they don't really recognize it themselves. They have gone into oblivion. They have gone into some void that, who am I? Am I a Palestinian? I am from Palestine. I'm a Palestinian. And this is just a void. So I think that the reality check among them should be the first. And as long as they can't define themselves, someone needs to define it for them. And until now, the leftists have done that. The leftists have preserved the idea that this is the native people of Israel. They were here first. They were the, what you call them, the inhabitants of this land. I think that is a mistaken statement. So now when Israel is doing this job, to say in that way, I think they will be a blessing to the world. not only to prevent such happening again, but it will forever make peace in the Middle East and the world at large. And many of the leftists will see the superpower of God is with the IDF. Superpower, I think that is. They have some superpowers that we have seen already, and they will be managing that kind of a superpower in the future. So as long as people are fighting, not blessing, I think that the blessing is, that is the only thing that we can do. As a Gentile, I will bless Israel, the Jewish people, and every Jew that is everywhere in this world. May the God Hashem protect you. Let me write the topic down so you can see. I forgot. Bless Israel. Israel. I think that is a good topic for today. We can see the blessing is working. Maybe only for the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles is over. So I believe that the Jews have some exciting days forward. And every time I'm in Israel, I'm so inspired. Not because of the places, but it is together with the loved people. People that God loves and treats very hard. And we can see that on Job when he was treated, not because he didn't. His friends said, you deserved it. How he was undergoing torments, lost family and everything. And he couldn't have so much clothes because it was so painful. Maybe even a wind will be so much painful. So Job was undergoing the torments. And as long, I think that is the point here. Not that I made it up, but I think that even though Israel is undergoing so much turmoil, the answer is that they have God. So the question, why does unjust happen to the righteous? No, you don't deserve it. And that is not any argument that you deserved it. But you have God. And everyone that suffers from turmoil, if you find God, you got that answer. So we see in the book of Job, in the end, that God appeared and talked and showed him his brilliance. And Job answered that I may have spoken bad, or I agree. I have nothing more to say. So there is no judgment. God is seeing to his people. And I wish all Israel, Jews and everyone a blessed Shabbat and Shabbat Shalom.